Right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Driving to the Top Productions proudly presents our Tuesday night open mic night. My name is Big Rich, and we are proud to have you with us tonight. However, you're viewing us in the multitude of avenues that you can get us on our YouTube channel, on Facebook, Twitter, our individual pages. However, you're getting us, we're just glad you're getting us tonight. To my right on your screen is the man that I share a show with on Wednesdays. Adam, what's going on, buddy? You are wearing the wrong hat, cuz.
Actually, I don't even know what hat I have on. No, I have the Red Sox on.
Whose Pirates fan are you?
Listen, this is my favorite hat growing up, and I found it and I bought it, and I love this hat. Ever since what was it? I got it in what, nine? I got it when it first came out. So, well, I think the franchise 47 came out in maybe 2004, 2003.
Gotcha.
So when I had a chance to
Yeah, right
rebuy
around
this
there.
hat, I certainly did. I
I
have a
got you.
Pirates one. I have a Guardians one. I'm good.
I got you.
Um,
Right below him, we got. Well, now we got people moving around. To Adam's right on your screen, it is Big Hoss. Marcus, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, fellas? I cannot seem to get off CFB 26. I have been playing the shit out of it, but I'm here to talk with you guys on another Tuesday open mic night.
Right below
Here's your
him, we
squad.
got Rav. Oh,
Here's your
Rav, what's
squad.
cooking, buddy?
How are you gentlemen doing here in the middle of the
How about
summer?
how about them O's?
How about them O's sweeping the Atlanta Braves this week? Getting that squared away. Orioles handling business here. So that's actually good. All-Star break. Saw you heading
And we're gonna
immaculate.
get in. Yeah, we're gonna get into something about the All-Star game here in just a second. To his left on the screen, it is Ken the Bear. Ken, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, man? How you guys doing?
Our
Hope you're
fan.
enjoying
I'm sorry.
July. It's July already. Jeez, where's the time go? Camp in 2 weeks.
Hey, everybody knock on wood for me, okay, when I say this. The highest temperature we've had this summer, and I'm in Waco, Texas, is 95.
What?
It's been hotter in Pittsburgh than it has in Texas this year.
Y'all hadn't even
I'll
got to the triple digits yet?
Nope.
Dude, I am crispy right now. Holy cow. I was at the lake all weekend. Sunscreen just wasn't doing it, boys. I'm as red as this shirt underneath. Like, if I took it off, you'd think I was still wearing a shirt.
Shit,
You know,
right.
Rich, funny you should say that because I'm in the Panhandle, and we're not going to get. Heck, we're not going to see the mid 80s this week. Beautiful weather out here in Florida.
Yeah. It's weird the way the weather all works, man. But hey, Rav brought it up. All-Star game next Tuesday night. We'll get into our homework assignment right after this. But our dearly beloved All-Star game kicks off on Tuesday night. But first things first, with that, we're going to have the home run derby. And as we sit at this second, you have Ronald Acuna Jr. of the host team Braves, Cal Raleigh of the Mariners, James Wood of the Nationals, Byron Buxton of the Twins, Nico Horner of the Cubs. Why? I have no flipping clue. And the latest addition to this little roster, O'Neal Cruz of the Pirates. So, is there anybody there besides O'Neal Cruz that people are excited to see hit home runs?
Where's Altuve?
Not on the list yet.
That wasn't serious, was it? I'm excited to see Cal Raleigh. I think a lot of people haven't seen Cal Raleigh. He's in Seattle. The Mariners don't get as much national Sunday night games and all that other stuff. So I think, Cal Raleigh, I think this is a good opportunity for him. Yeah, I hear you, though. After him, like Nico Horsemer, I don't understand that one at all. I don't know why. Yeah.
Here's one that I don't understand. 2 out of the last 3 years, who's won this thing?
Pete Alonso.
Who was not invited to the home run derby this year. How the hell does that happen? You win it 2 out of the last 3 years and you're not invited to come. Is it like he's too good at hitting home runs during batting practice?
I honestly believe this. And I think I don't know if this is what you're saying exactly. Baseball has no idea how popular the home run derby is. I think it's the opposite of the NBA. The NBA seems to think they're still in the 90s with the slam dunk contest and think everybody's still in. And baseball does the opposite. Everybody loves the home run derby, and they kind of don't even realize it. Like, I don't know what's – I think that's kind of what you're saying is absolutely right. Everybody wants to see the home run derby.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for
not
when
when they don't put not when they don't put all the great players in there. It's kind of dull.
Well, but the slam dunk contest was the same way. I mean, you never saw LeBron do it or Kobe or guys like that. You saw MJ, of course, and Dominique back in the day, but it's the same thing with now. Aaron Judge did it once. Hasn't done it yet. The only reason Acuna is doing it is because they got the All-Star game in Atlanta. I can guarantee you that's the only reason why he's doing it. They kind of have, but like Rav was saying with the NBA, they kind of have that same issue. But I'm with you, man. People, the old line, chicks dig the long ball. Well, I got news for you. Guys dig the long ball too. When you can launch one 525 feet, that's pretty dang impressive, man. Batting practice or not.
I don't think they really have ever. I think, and even deeper than that, like the All-Star game, it's on the wrong day. I don't know what's it doing on a Tuesday night. I know it's always been on Tuesday night, but like it should be on a Saturday or Sunday. Have the game where more people can watch the game. If I was the commissioner, I certainly would have that.
Here's one for you, Rav, and I'm glad you asked that question. Do you realize that the day of the All-Star game and the day after the All-Star game and that Thursday are the only days of the year? I'm sorry, backtrack that. The day after the All-Star game and that Thursday are the only days of the year that there are no regular season games or postseason in any of the 5 major sports. None. No baseball, no NBA, no NFL, no NHL, no NASCAR. None for either one of those 2 days.
Hold on. You're going to say 5 major sports. You're going to drop the MLS, but you're going to put in NASCAR.
Yes.
And I'll repeat that again. How many days or how many weeks?
It's the day after the All-Star game and the Thursday following that. So those 2 days after the All-Star game are the only 2 days of the calendar year where there is no major sport event going on, no major professional sporting event taking place.
Except MLS. But I know people are going to say, who watches MLS? Me.
I do.
Well, I only watch the Dynamo. That's it. I don't watch it religious. I don't watch every team like I watch the NFL in college or the NBA. No.
Well,
soccer, I can only
think
watch.
I was going to say, I think you're in the majority there.
Right.
I'm not NASCAR or MLS really, personally, but I would put NASCAR above MLS. I don't think there's that many.
Yeah, because there are plenty of games on the 16th of July for the MLS. Orlando plays New York, Atlanta plays Chicago, Charlotte plays DC, Cincinnati plays Miami. I mean, there's plenty of games. And the MLS sells plenty of tickets.
Well, that Wednesday and Thursday is the opportunity for everybody to catch up on their MLS and also catch up on their darts and their cornhole and their lacrosse and that kind of stuff. Because that's all ESPN's running those days is that kind of craziness.
Well, they're not running MLS because only Apple is running MLS because they have the exclusive rights. So, but that's the MLS's problem. I don't know why they did that because unless you buy Apple Plus, they got a nice contract out of it. But I mean, you're not growing the game on Apple Plus. You're growing the game on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
Here's the difference with MLS and what you just said, and what he's talking about. What Marcus is talking about his channel. He's not talking about or maybe he's talking about MLS, but he's talking about the Euro League, and all that other stuff. The
That's all.
MLS,
that's
the
all.
MLS is not the best league. You talk about NASCAR; these are the best drivers in the world. You talk about
is it
all that stuff?
Talk to the European drivers, and they might say otherwise. I mean, it's eye of the beholder, but the MLS is a pretty big draw in the United States, and they have their stadiums that they sell out religiously, fanatical fan bases like NASCAR. So if you want to look at ratings, it's probably up there in ratings as well. I mean, MLS, they say the big five, and I'll think, oh, there's no MLS games. Oh, there's no NASCAR. Oh, wait a minute. I mean, MLS has been steadily growing in this country as far as fan bases, tickets, merchandise, and everything. They're taking a good path, but yeah, going on Apple Plus does not grow the game, as far as getting viewers, because I don't know how many people buy Apple Plus, but I think more people have access to ESPN or Fox Sports than Apple Plus.
It's growing because we have more of an immigrant population like in this country than we ever had before.
That's not necessarily true either, though, Robbie. My age group, the Gen Xers, we were an explosion of youth soccer. It's the number one played sport in the country.
Yeah,
It's the number one watched sport in the world.
No.
It's not even
in
close.
the United States, soccer is the most played sport.
I agree.
By kids.
I don't disagree with that at all.
They go they'll go all year long with these cups and league challenges and all that
tournaments and all the other stuff. It's a different animal, but it is a major sport in the U.S. that draws major money.
And I would have put it number 6, but the whole thing you look at too with it, seriously, and this is God's honest truth with it. A lot of parents have their kids playing soccer nowadays because they don't want to take they're concerned their kids are going to get hurt if they play football, and they think they're going to get hurt playing baseball, and they see all the stupidity that goes on in the NBA, so they don't want them having that, so they put them in soccer. Not to mention the fact, I mean, I get that realistically, soccer is the third, and this is scientific fact, soccer is the third most cardiovascular challenging sport there is.
Yep. Yeah, you're running for 90 minutes.
Right. Swimming is first, by the way.
So in the U.S., this is from the Sporting Blog. I'm not sure what year they did this. Let me see. Well, it's 20th January this year. The most popular sports in the U.S., percentage of fans that pay attention to the sport, American football blows everyone away at 74.5%, followed by basketball at 56.6%, then baseball, then boxing, then ice hockey, then soccer, then golf, then the WWE, then tennis, and where does NASCAR and motorsports rank? 10th at 14.6. Behind tennis and behind the WWE. Just saying. So when you get to the top 5, it's reality, it's 10. And I was surprised by that list, by the way. I figured NASCAR would be ahead of tennis and golf. But golf is actually pretty good.
If you look at the numbers, the ratings, and the people at the stadiums, it's ahead of golf, it's ahead of tennis, it's ahead of WWE. As much as I love WWE, no, I mean, when you're at a track like Daytona with 250,000 of your closest friends, it's bananas. When you're at Texas Motor Speedway with 175,000 of your closest friends, at Dover Motor Speedway with 100,000 of your closest friends, you can't tell me you're not drawn.
180,000 in Talladega.
Yeah, no, they draw.
180, 200,000.
They draw for their
and they draw on TV. And they draw the numbers.
According to this survey, they're 10 out of 10. But needless to say, after the All-Star game on Tuesday, at least you can watch some MLS soccer if you have Apple Plus. Big Hoss and I might be going to your watch.
So real quick,
$10 a month or $100 for the season.
Yeah,
there you go. Real quick before
Marcus, I gotta know real quick, Marcus, did you buy both or just CFB?
Both. I set Madden out last year so I can give my full love and recognition for one full year of college football with not having it for 12 fucking years after that lawsuit shit. So I drew a knee the other day. I deleted the shit and I immediately had it downloaded and ready to go by the time I got off yesterday. And I only got 6 hours of sleep last night because I stayed up fucking hours of the night doing Dynasty with as a offensive coordinator for Tulane and a head coach for Southern Miss.
So
Okay.
here's something I got to get you guys' thoughts about before we get into our homework assignment. The All-Star game next Tuesday. You hear, of course, there's always these people. This guy got snubbed. That guy got snubbed. Whatever. Okay. So the American. This is what I want to do. I want to go around the table. Is there a snub? And who would you take out to put your guy in? Because if you can't replace somebody, it's not a snub. He wasn't that good. So when you look at the American League, Cal Raleigh and Alejandro Kirk are your catchers. Vlad Jr. and Jonathan Aranda are your first baseman. Gleyber Torres, Jazz Chisholm, Brandon Lau are your second baseman. Jose Ramirez, Alex Bregman, Junior Caminero are your third baseman. Shortstops, Bobby Witt, Jeremy Pena, Jacob Wilson. In the outfield, Aaron Judge, Riley Green, Javi Baez, Byron Buxton, Stephen Kwan, Julio Rodriguez. And at DH, Ryan O'Hearn and Brent Rooker. The pitchers, your starters, you have Hunter Brown, Chris Bubich, Garrett Crochet, Jacob deGrom, Max Fried, Yusei Kikuchi, Tarek Scoble, Shane Smith, and Brian Wu. Relievers, Aroldis Chapman, Josh Hader, and Andres Munoz. Anybody you see left off the list, Adam? And if there is, who do you replace with your guy?
I looked it over before. I didn't really see anything I would change. That's just me.
Marcus?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd replace Cal Riley with Mauricio Dubon.
You'd replace the home run leader. Why?
No, I'm talking about to play catcher. I don't care about he can play. He can still do the home run derby. But I'm talking about in position. I'd have him as like a sub. I'd have Mauricio be a starter. But if I'd replace anybody, I'd just take Alejandro Kirk off, replace him with Mauricio, put Cal Riley on reserve, and put Mauricio as a starter.
Okay,
That's
am
what
I
I'm
wrong?
saying.
I thought Dubon played second and short. You talking about Yanier Diaz?
Yonder Diaz too. I mean, Dubon's played
Yanier
catcher
Diaz
too.
is the catcher for the Astros.
Yeah, but Dubon used to play catcher. I mean, he'd been
Right.
playing second more often, but I figured maybe go back in his old routine at All Stars. I mean, look at Altuve. I mean, he moved to shortstop or moved to right outfield, and I would have him back at second base if he was on All Star roster. And have him play second base.
Well, the
Go
one
back
thing
to
I
his
can
old
tell you
school
about Cal Raleigh is that he did win the Platinum Glove last year. He had a Gold Glove and led with home runs. And we have an extra visitor there in the RAV window. Hi there. Yeah, she leaves.
My wife and daughter just thought I had the other screen up looking at the All-Star list. Hey, I'm on camera, guys. You're like not paying. They're like just walking paying attention. Sorry about that.
So, Rav, is there anybody that you think got snubbed in the American League? And if so, who would you take out?
I'm gonna leave it to Orioles. There's not a lot. I kind of agree with Adam. It's a lot. It's pretty decent. I would have liked to have seen Jackson Holiday. I think he's been every good as Gabriel Torres. I think people would like to have seen him in there. So I do agree with that. I would have liked to have seen Jackson Holiday instead of Gabriel Torres. I don't know why they have so many starters in the All-Star game. I kind of don't get that. Shane Smith, they have to do it because they have all the teams, so they have somebody from all the teams. So I'd like to see Felix Bautista in there as well. That's the oldest trick of the book. Get somebody from all the teams so all the fans watch the game and watch their guy, blah, blah, blah. But I think they got it right for the most part. I'm not looking at that and saying, oh wow, they really messed up like in some previous years. I think for the most part the American League looks okay, except for too many starters than I would have. I had more relievers.
Yeah.
When it comes to the American League, I got nothing.
Okay.
I have
Josh,
no
you got
problem with the
anybody?
American League. The National League, though. Let me get there.
He wanted Troy Aikman.
There you go. All right, so we moved to the National League. Catchers are Will Smith and Hunter Goodman. First base, Freddie Freeman, Pete Alonso. Second base, Ketel Marte and Brendan Donovan. I'm sorry, first base also Matt Olson. Second base, Ketel Marte and Brendan Donovan. Third base, Manny Machado and Eugenio Suarez. Shortstop, Francisco Lindor and Ellie De La Cruz. Outfield, Acuna, Pete Crow Armstrong, Kyle Tucker, Corbin Carroll, Kyle Stowers, Fernando Tatis, and James Wood. DHs, Shohei Ohtani and Kyle Schwarber. Pitchers, the starting pitchers, Matthew Boyd, Mackenzie Gore, a legend pick. They did put an extra player on the National League roster in Clayton Kershaw. Freddie Peralta, Robbie Ray, Chris Sale, Paul Skeens, Logan Webb, Zach Wheeler, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and Andrew Abbott. The relievers, Jason Adam, Edwin Diaz, Randy Rodriguez, and Robert Suarez. So we'll go backwards. Josh, you see anybody that should have been on there that you're going to take somebody out to put them on?
I don't honestly know.
All right, Ken, here you go.
Schwarbs, love you. Want to ring with me? You're gone, buddy. How the hell? Okay, only 2 times in MLB history, at the break, has there been a player there have been 34 cases in Major League Baseball history of a player having at least 25 homers, 75 RBIs, and 20 doubles entering the All-Star break. Only 2 have been left off the All-Star roster. Hank Greenberg in 1935, so 90 years ago, and Suzuki for the Cubs, who leads the majors, by the way, in RBIs. Right? I think he's leading right now, if I was correct on that. But how the hell he is dominating the National League as a DH? And Ohtani, I get. Schwartz, I love the dude, but how is Suzuki not on this roster? Oh, is it because there are already 3 Cubs on it? Please. He is killing it, and this is why for me the All-Star game in baseball, besides the fact that it means nothing, the home field advantage thing, I always hated when they did that. Baseball just keeps doing things to make me care less and less about it. But this is another one of them. It's just like, come on. The guy is dominating the league, and you're going to say, yeah, you're not an all-star. Are you kidding me?
Well, the big thing to think about that, too, is who's the manager of this team?
It doesn't matter if he's dominating.
The manager is Dave Roberts, who the manager announces the reserves. He names the reserves. So there may be a little Dodger Cub thing going there.
Maybe.
I agree with. By the way, I agree with you 100%. I wouldn't pull Schwarber.
Wait, why should this? I thought why didn't the fans vote him in?
The fans vote
the starters.
Yeah. So Ohtani's going to get the vote. Ohtani's going to get the vote. Got it. He's going to get the vote. You're not going to outdo the market. Now you're going major market, not as major of a market. Still a major market, but not as big, right? He's going to get Ohtani's going to get all the fans from both sides of LA to vote for him. That's great and all, but
he's got the numbers too. See, I would have put Suzuki in ahead of Corbin Carroll, because Corbin Carroll's had a really mediocre at best first half. I'd have put him in over Corbin Carroll.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean,
oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ken.
No, go ahead. I'm just sighing, just like, come on.
Rav, what do you got, man?
First of all, Ken, there will be no Kyle Schwarber slander on this podcast right now. Kyle
I love
Schwarber.
Schwarbs.
I love Kyle Schwarber. He's probably
Look, I
my
love
favorite
Schwarbs more than you do.
in the league. Besides Bryce
I love
Harper.
Schwarbs,
Yeah.
but Rav, I love Schwarbs more than you do.
He's a Kyle.
And for a reason.
He was a
homegrown catalyst.
Cub. Yeah.
He was a catalyst in the World Series, in that series. He was a catalyst in that series. I love Schwarbs. Don't get me wrong. But, dude, Suzuki's just tearing the cover off the ball. Schwarbs is doing Schwarbs things, which isn't as good as what Suzuki is doing. That's why I say Schwarbs.
You're right, but I'm gonna tell you why. Because another name you didn't mention, and I think is a snub too. And instead of Adams and Rich is absolutely right about Corbin Carroll. That might have been the guy. In both cases, I would drop it. Andy Pages for the Dodgers has been fantastic as well, and I think that's why Suzuki didn't make it. The outfielders in the National League are really good. Jackson Torino's been really good and didn't make it as well. So I had that name. I was really looking at him. So I think the depth in the outfield in National League, Pete Crow Armstrong, this came out of nowhere. Kyle Tucker, when I did on my channel the list, I didn't even have him. And Kyle Tucker's been really good. So I think the reason is the depth of the outfield in the National League is the reason why he didn't make it. I understand it, though. I understand. But Schwarber, we will not slander.
I mean, the dude's leading the league in RBIs. He's like, it's like saying, hey, you're leading the league in scoring, but you're not an all-star. That's what they're saying.
I agree. I think it's profile and people like Schwarber better. I mean, you're not wrong in your overall point. I'm just saying that's why, too. Though.
And I love me some Schwarbs.
Yeah.
I love me some Schwarbs. I do. He's a Cubby for life. I don't care what jersey he's wearing today.
Marcus, what do you got, man? You see anybody that got snubbed, and if so, who are you taking out?
Well, for the NL, I wouldn't take no one out, but if I had to swap, the elected starter to reserve, let's see.
Well, we're just looking at somebody that didn't make it. If do you have someone that didn't make it that we would put in and take somebody out?
This seems like a fair, legit roster to me. Like, I don't really pay attention to NL people, but this seems like a legit roster to me for the National League, unless if y'all believe there's someone I should say that should be taken out in place.
Suzuki should be in.
Okay,
outside of what they've already mentioned, I can't see it. Adam, you got anybody?
I was with Ken on this one. I thought Suzuki should have been in. But
For y'all's sake, as long as Paul Skeens starts, that's all I care for the NL.
I think they're going to let Clayton start.
Or at least Paul Skeens get some pitches.
Is he retiring? Clay Kershaw? Yeah.
He hasn't announced it yet, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Because I can't think of another reason why he'd be in there if he's not. Maybe they don't.
He got 3,000. He got 3,000.
3,000 reasons there, buddy.
3,000 strikeouts. He just got it last start.
So what does that got to do? Okay. Well, I don't.
He'll probably be the last guy to do it.
Swan song,
If he is retiring, then I hear you. But like if he's going to be around and he got it, I don't understand it.
I can't see Paul Skeens starting either because he only has one win. I know the numbers are there, but that number's not there, and he doesn't really deserve the start.
It's not actually one win. That's just a joke.
I think you're going to see Wheeler start.
Guess what? I will not be watching next Tuesday.
The All-Star game.
So
I hope it's Skeens. I don't know. I agree, but I hope it's Skeens. I hope I'm wrong.
And Rich, I do agree with you. I think they should have it be like a Saturday afternoon game. You know what I'm saying? Make it a weekend destination thing. Like, the nice thing about other All-Star games, fans travel to it, right, to see guys from people from their teams. This being on a Tuesday, first off, the people in that city are working. Some are going to go, some aren't. But if you make it a whole All-Star weekend destination thing, the MLB can make so much more money. That's just how poorly run the MLB is. The MLB has not been run well as an organization.
I can't recall the All-Star game being on a weekend.
It's never
Exactly.
been. It's always been the second Tuesday in July.
Yep, and that's
Whenever they went to one, because they had a little stretch that they played 2 All-Star games. When they went to one All-Star game, it was always the second Tuesday in July.
I mean, now it's just we're stuck in tradition, but make it an All-Star weekend and make it a spectacle and make it something like, because the home run derby is gonna be on when everyone's at work. I mean,
Monday
do it
night.
on a weekend. Saturday, make the Saturday the home run derby and the other fun stuff you do. Make Sunday a 2:00 game or something like that, an afternoon game on a Sunday, and make it a destination.
How about like Sunday be the All-Star game, Saturday could be the home run derby or whatever else you want to do.
Yeah.
Friday, do like a celebrity sandlot game or a pickleball game or some shit.
They do a celebrity softball game.
Yeah.
Oh,
You do have that, yeah.
I mean,
Here's something else baseball doesn't get right here. All of us, I think, did the schedule release for the NFL. It's a big thing in the NBA. Baseball puts their schedule out before they even end the season. Like, that's insane to me.
There's
Why
suspense.
don't you wait until after the World Series is over so you can get a game on Memorial Day or start, or like you can have the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Red, you could schedule it out based on what happened last year. The way they're doing it,
you could
Go ahead,
tease
sorry.
some stuff out, right? You could tease out, like, Memorial Day is going to be this big rival, Labor Day or whatever is going to be, the holidays. You can tease out the holidays about being these big, sorry, my cat just opened the door, these big, the rivalry weekends. Like, you could tease some of them out. And yeah, the MLB misses the boat on so many things these days compared to the NFL, the NHL, the NBA, MLS. Hell, even the MLS does a better job at schedule releasing than Major League Baseball with the messy commercial at the end of the Super Bowl. I mean, MLB is just, they live on, we're America's pastime. And what's up, JB? We're America's pastime and we're tradition. And yet they see themselves sinking further and further down the pecking order for American
But yet the NFL has the absolute worst All-Star game.
Yeah,
yes,
they
it's
do.
a fucking circus now. I hate it.
It's not even a game now. It's complete garbage. Jeremy, how you doing, man?
Fantastic. Sorry, I've been running the errands.
It's all right. We were just getting ready to start our homework, so your timing was perfect.
No,
the
NFL,
NFC all-time
Last week,
great.
everybody, huh?
NFC all-time great seats.
Yes, for the NFC. So
There he
last
is.
week we covered the AFC, and
Joe.
we had a great time doing that. We had a couple of teams that were unanimous, but outside of that, we had a nice discussion about a lot of those. Ken ran away. So since Ken ran away, let's do the Bears first.
I'm here.
I'm kidding. No, we're going to go east to west. So let's start in the NFC East, and let's just start things off with a banger here. The worst team in the history of the NFL. That would be the fighting one. It's not. Remember, folks, it's a rating. It's not a logo. The Dallas Cowboys. Adam, who you got?
Cowboys, 85 Hall of Famers, 78 Rookie of the Year, 6 Pro Bowls, 2 Super Bowls, 1 MVP in that Super Bowl, Roger Staubach.
Very good. That's a very good choice. Marcus, who you got?
So I got a 3-time Super Bowl champ, one time a Super Bowl MVP. He was also a Hall of Famer in college and in the pros. He's won Rookie of the Year, Emmitt Smith.
Thank God.
Rav?
I was like, and if you went the other way.
Rav, who you got?
From Escambia High School, the same high school the Usos played at, Trent Richardson played at. I can let's go on. I've seen their high school and all their big names that played for the Escambia Gators.
And they have
Sorry,
a
I
weird
cut you
stadium.
off.
Sorry, I've been to that stadium. It's a weird stadium.
Me too. It goes in ground. Like, why
Yeah.
does a high school stadium need to go in ground?
Rav?
Bit more stands.
It's pretty close. It's tempting to say. I almost want to say Troy Aikman just to mess with Ken, but I'm not going to do that. I want to say Troy Aikman so bad, but you got to say Emmitt Smith is the greatest of all time, a little bit ahead of Roger Staubach.
They
Emmitt
even
Smith,
named
great.
that
Great
high school
choice.
stadium in Escambia is named Emmitt Smith Stadium too. By the way.
Yep, my son's
Did
played
you
there.
guys see that? Speaking of like weird stadiums, did you guys see the Nationals minor league team? How they're all on the river? Their stadiums are
yeah.
all on the river.
That would be legit.
Yeah, in
Like,
Harrisburg.
That's wild. Yeah, it's in Harrisburg. Yes.
Yeah. Ken, who you got?
Hey, before I do that, hey JB, your dad's here.
Yeah, my music kind of shot. The soundboard ain't working.
Damn it, we can't do the head shake.
Yeah.
For the Cowgirls, the rating system, I'm gonna go completely off script. I'm gonna go with actually. There he is. I'm gonna go with my favorite cowboy because there's only one that I actually like. And actually, when I got his helmet, I was like happy I got it. And that would be the future Hall of Famer. He's not in yet. I think he's eligible this year. Jason Witten.
Right.
I go with Ditka, but you know Ditka's always a bear in my heart. But Witten, and here's the reason for Witten. Like the dude just like
Dominated.
yeah. I mean, you knock it, you can hit him so damn hard the helmet came off, and he's still trucking down the field without a helmet. Right? I mean, the dude just had no stop. He was consistent, dominant, didn't get the love he deserved as a player in this league because there's always bigger personalities around him. But at the end of the day, if there's no Jason Witten, the Cowboys wouldn't have even been a part of any conversation during his playing days. Like he was that glue that made that team work, and he was so dogged and such a good player. So for me, it's Witten.
Josh, who you got?
I got Roger Staubach.
Okay. Jeremy?
It's now been said a second time. It's Roger Staubach.
I went even a little older. Arguably one of the greatest defensive linemen of all time, and definitely the man has the name Mr. Cowboy. That tells you something. Bob Lilly.
Funny story. That's my mother's maiden name.
Bob?
Lily.
Couldn't resist, Jeremy. Sorry.
That was good.
All right. This next one I think is going to be unanimous, but anybody not have the same guy for the Giants?
We'll find out.
Jeremy,
Probably not, brother.
Jeremy, who you got?
Just because he won 2 Super Bowls, everybody wants to say it's that guy. I can't. It's LT.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking.
Taylor.
Rav? Who you got, Rav?
LT without the question. Greatest linebacker outside rushing of all time in NFL history. No question.
Yeah. Ken?
Well, I don't know if I agree with the second half of what he said, but all I know is when he signs his helmet, he inscribes one bad motherfucker. LT.
Josh?
I'm gonna go with LT, I guess. I was gonna go with someone else, but I gotta go with the group.
I'm going LT. Adam?
I'm going with that 1999 Hall of Famer as well.
Marcus?
Outbidding. This is going to go across the board. I'm going with the guy who broke Joe Theismann's leg, the guy who beat Bam Bam Bigelow in the main event of WrestleMania 11, even the guy who went spoke at Bobby Boucher's football camp. Well, it was LT's Louisiana Lightning. By the way, that's Ron Guidry's nickname, not Lawrence Taylor. So you get your baseball shit mixed with football. Like he said in that movie, don't smoke crack. Lawrence Taylor. I'm shocked no one said Eli Manning.
I wanted to.
I'm
I wanted
not.
to.
I'm not.
I knew Josh was thinking Eli Manning.
Eli would be his own. Eli would be in a different list. He'd be in the best all-time playoff.
I was waiting for someone to say Strahan. Strahan,
No,
or Tiki Barber, or any of them guys.
LT.
Lawrence Taylor. Baby.
So now we get into some interesting stuff. How about the Philadelphia Eagles? Let's start that one off. Josh, who you got for the Eagles?
I got Reggie White, but I got an honorable mention to the greatest backup quarterback of all time, Nick Foles.
Okay. Jeremy, who you got?
Greatest backup. I'm going Reggie White.
Ken?
You can't do Reggie White for 2 teams. I could. I mean, it wouldn't be any different than Sweat being the sack leader in 2 teams in 1 year, which he was. But God, how do you not go with the Minister of Defense? You know what, though? God, there have been Reggie White's the obvious one, but if I pick him for that, I can't take him for the Packers. And I think he was even my guy for the Packers. There's Weapon X. He was the heart and soul. McNabb was a heart and soul of Philly for over a decade plus. Never got the love he deserved either. I want to say Reggie White, but he's going to be my pick for the Packers probably because the Packers suck and I hate them. So, I'll have to go with someone they bought in, not that they raised in. God, I'm going to go with McNabb. Fuck it. McNabb is the reason the Philly fans became the Philly fans in the way they were. He was the most underrated quarterback maybe of his time. The guy should have had a ring. He didn't get one. McNabb was tough day in, day out. He put Philly on the map when Philly kind of had fallen off the map and started a winning tradition in Philly. The Minister of Defense, but he's going to be my Packer pick. So, I'm going to go with McNabb.
All right, Adam, who you got?
Who do I have? The only guy that when he came back to play against his former team, the whole stadium could wear his jersey, and no matter what, it was okay. Brian Dawkins.
Yeah. Love Dawkins, too.
Okay. Marcus? Yo, Marcus.
Oh, I thought you said mucus. I'm like, who the fuck is mucus? No, I also went with Donovan McNabb, the guy who should have got him their first Super Bowl and beat Tom Brady, but he came up short.
And he had Terrell Owens on a broken leg who had a massive game.
I'll never forget how angry. I'll never forget how pissed I was when Brady won back-to-back for the first time when he beat McNabb. Because I got pissed he beat Jake Delhomme the year before, and then I got even more mad because he beat Donovan McNabb, who was a good quarterback to play with in those Madden games and around. Now, not Madden we had at the time, but a Madden above it or before it, yes. But Donovan, I still say the uncrowned Super Bowl champion. He should have won the first for the Eagles, not a backup. But hey, that backup did bring Tom Brady.
Raph, who you got?
Eagles and the Commanders are much tougher than the Giants, I think, as well. Chuck McNarick, I almost wanted to say him. You go really old school, a guy. And Reggie White, I kind of with him. I think of him as a Packer player, so I can't say Reggie White. So I'm gonna say B-Dawk. I would love to watch Brian Dawkins. He was the most complete safety. He was as good. He was a hitter and he was a ball hawk. And he was, to me, the leader of that defense. Those great defenses he had. But Brian Dawkins was
34 picks and 32 forced fumbles. And
you say that, I remember the hitting. He would just deplete everybody, man. You got hit by Brian Dawkins, you remember it.
Well, it was Reggie White. Yeah. Dawkins is one of those guys that when you think Eagles, you think Brian Dawkins, you think Reggie White, you think certain guys. That's one of them, yeah. Okay, well, you just brought it up, Raph, so we'll start with you. The Washington Redskins / Commanders.
This was super hard. Because they have a lot of really good players and they're really kind of close together. No one guy really sticks out, even when they won world titles. I'm gonna say Darrell Green. I think Darrell Green, is probably not named Deion Sanders or Rod Woodson, the best corner in the history.
He still has that lightning speed to this day.
He would run past. He's 40 years old. He's winning the fastest player in the league award. Crazy. Darrell Green, I think, was the best corner without the flash and the dash, just consistent, outstanding. Darrell Green, a little bit over Joe Theismann.
Marcus.
I went with one of Houston's favorite sons in Darrell Green.
Adam.
299 tackles, 12 interceptions, 8 forced fumbles. It's a shame he got shot in his home in Miami, but I went with Sean Taylor.
Yeah, imagine the career that guy would have had.
Mhm.
Then
who you got?
that asshole stepped on his number in Washington. I'm surprised the Washington guy didn't beat the shit out of him.
So there's only
Yeah.
there's one. I just went to the game in Washington last year, and there's one jersey of the non-current guys that you can buy in: jersey, sweatshirt, hoodie, and every other form known to man. I had the man's rookie, his helmet with his rookie number inscribed, and it paid for half of my helmet collection. And I couldn't keep it because it's a holy grail for a Redskin fan, not for me, and that's Sean Taylor. And he is the reason why the Pro Bowl has been forever changed. If everyone remembers that hit.
shot on
Yep.
the kicker, baby.
Yeah.
When he drilled that kicker.
Just drilled him. Love Sean
Yep.
Taylor.
Jeremy, who you got, man?
Sean Taylor.
Josh?
I'm going all with this one. I'm going Sammy Bow.
Oh,
Yeah. I didn't ask his last name.
that's actually a really good poll. Sammy
Swinging
Baugh,
Sammy.
Not a bad choice at all. I think he's right at the top.
Top 10.
especially in a time frame that nobody threw the ball.
Who knows?
I went old
Who
school.
just- Hold on, before we jump the next division, Rich, who just jumped in?
Dylan jumped in, but his mic ain't connected,
Oh,
or his
Well-
cam ain't on either, so it won't let me add him.
My dad
Rich,
put
who
a
you got for the
comment.
Redskins?
I was going old school on my Redskins. Nobody wanted to tackle this guy at all.
John Rick.
You saw that 44 coming up to the line, and people were like, "Oh no, screw this." So I went with John Riggins.
That was my number 2.
Riggs.
Yeah, I like Riggs too.
You know how hard it was
The
for me?
Diesel.
You know how hard it was for me? It was either him, it was either Darryl Green or Doug Williams.
See, I would have Doug Williams more with Tampa than with Washington.
Okay,
I don't have him
'cause-
for Tampa, but
I mean, I would have put him for
we've
Washington.
done the NFC East for people who
We've
are
done
asking.
4
We have
teams.
done the
Yep.
NFC East, so we've done 4 teams. We're going to the NFC North right now.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
NFC North. Let's see. Who do I go first? How about the Minnesota Vikings?
The Vikings.
Yes.
Jeremy, who you
Can I-
got?
Chris Carter. Chris Carter, hands down. The gentleman, the guy that led the wide receiver rookie symposium for years. Consummate professional. Great guy.
Good deal. Josh.
I'm going with Alan Page.
Good call. I went with to me, the 4th best receiver in the history of football, Randy Moss. Adam, who you got?
I went with the induction guy this year, Jared Allen.
All right, Marcus.
I also went with my all-time favorite receiver growing up, Randy Moss.
Rav.
As tempting as it was to say Randy Moss, I think the best player in the franchise was Fran Tarkenton. I think very, very underrated Fran Tarkenton. Was one of the greatest quarterbacks ever played.
And I did this for a reason. Ken, go ahead.
So you could go with AP, sure. I mean, he was great in Minnesota. You could go with Chris Carter, yeah. You could go with Moss, Moss is good. For me, I'm more of Jared Allen. I just think Jared Allen was Minnesota. When you hear his name, you see the horns. You see the Vikings. He's the only guy who I really – he at the end of the career, he played for the Bears for like half a season, whatever. Then went off to Carolina, whatever. But Jared Allen just was the Vikings, for many, many years. Fran Tarkenton is also a great pick. But, yeah, you got to go with Allen. There was something about him. He has that X factor that the other ones maybe didn't have as much of.
Okay, so I'm going to start with him on this one. All right, Ken, go for it. The Bears. I think it's an obvious choice for everybody, but go ahead. Go
Well,
Bears.
it is. It's Walter, and it's always going to be Walter. And anyone who doesn't say Walter doesn't know ball, right? But no, it's Walter. But there are some guys that some good honorable mentions that don't get the love they deserve. Peanut Tillman also changed the game. Ditka changed the game. Devin Hester, oh yeah, also changed the game. But it's Walter. It's Walter today. It's Walter tomorrow. It's Walter when the world ends.
How about Bob Avellini? No?
No.
Well, shit. All right, Jeremy, you're up.
Walter Payton. Sweetness. Does he like the
Rav.
game?
Rav.
I'm a surprise y'all say Dick Butkus was a better than Walter Payton. I think Dick Butkus is was the toughest guy I ever saw. I mean, if you ever met Dick Butkus, like, you would just be pissing your pants talking to him. I mean,
You got to be a badass with that name.
yeah,
Dick
like, yeah.
Buttkiss.
Not by much,
Going
but
through school?
Butkus a little bit ahead of Walter Payton.
See, that's the problem with the Bears, though, because like, if I were to say defensively, yeah, Butkus would be my
Singletary.
defensive guy, him or Mike Singletary, because Singletary was just so the eyes, man. Those Singletary eyes, that intensity. I mean, just that the Bears are problematic in a show like this. Put it that way.
Marcus, who you got?
I mean, we're going to go with one of the best who they named an award after in Walter Payton. But I'm going to throw an honorable mention myself. I will throw Brian Urlacher as an honorable mention. And just for the hell of it, if I've met one Chicago Bear in my life, and he's one of those down-to-earth guys who's from my neck of the woods, Matt Forte.
Hey, the man. Love Forte.
Yeah.
He's
Adam.
a
I had
fucking
him.
generous guy. Very generous guy.
Say again, Adam.
I like Matt Forte.
Oh no, his camera
Really?
couldn't admit.
Okay. Shoot. Okay, I went with Walter Payton. I just lost my grid. Josh, who you got?
I got Walter Payton also.
All right. Dylan, who you got for the Bears?
34.
Sweetness. Okay, so that one
Enough
was
said right there.
probably-
Awesome.
I
I went with
kind of
Walter
think the
Payton.
next
I went
one,
with Walter Payton as well.
I think the next one comes down to 2, but this is just me. I'm just saying it. All right, Jeremy, start it off, dude. Detroit.
Barry Sanders. Hands down.
Okay.
Greatest running back all time.
Second best.
give you
running back
that.
all time.
No. I'll agree. Sanders first, Payton second. Rav.
Which team is it? Is it the
Detroit.
Detroit? Oh, Barry Sanders. Without the question.
Marcus.
Look, I may not live to see Walter Payton play, but damn, I was lucky to see Barry Sanders play on my TV, the former 97 MVP of the NFL. A guy I felt like should have won a was lucky enough that they'd have had a better team, could have won a Super Bowl if they were lucky enough. Barry Sanders all the way. First time I played Pee Wee football, I was awarded number 20, and I thought I was fucking Barry Sanders playing Pee Wee football.
Adam.
Yeah, 2004 Hall of Fame induction, 10 Pro Bowls. Marcus already said that. 6 all pro first teams, rookie of the year, Barry Sanders.
Dylan. Sticking with Sanders.
20.
Josh.
Did you lose
Sanders.
your fucking voice or what? What's going on there?
Ken.
Yeah, not only is he not the best running back of all time, he's not the best Lion of all time. I'm going with Megatron.
See, that's the one where I was going. It's one of 2. It had to be either Megatron or
It was
Sanders.
going to be Matt Stafford, but I went with Megatron. It should be
No.
Matt Stafford actually, but
There's
I'm
a
going
lot
to
of
go with Megatron.
there's a lot of people that have them as 1, 2, 3 in any order.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
I was lucky to see the
But
Saints play Megatron in 2015 on a Monday night.
See, to me, Megatron is the greatest, second greatest receiver of all time. Behind, of course, Jerry Rice.
Well, that's Detroit for you, second best at everything all time.
Well, my number 3
Sorry,
always gets
JB.
me in trouble with people, though. My number 3 always gets me in trouble with people. So, That's all right. It's
Who's your
Larry
number
Fitzgerald.
3? I want to.
Larry Fitzgerald
I like
is my number
Fitzy.
3.
Greatest hands I ever
Um,
saw, Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
The most underrated great receiver of all time. So now we got one team left, and this ought to be fun, especially for Jeremy and Ken. The Green Bay Packers. I'm going to start this one off. I went Brett Favre. So, yeah, mainly because I went Reggie White on the Eagles. Adam, who you got?
I got that. Let's see. Let me look at my notes.
Don't tell me you got that Steeler quarterback, or I'm going to reach through the internet wave.
Oh boy, I'm cooked.
Yeah, you are.
90s All-Decade Team. 95 Offensive Player of the Year. 1 Super Bowl. 4 years.
Look
4
at the
years
stat,
led the
bro.
league in touchdowns. Brett Favre.
And Haas goes away. What's up with that?
Big Hoss with the sauce just became mucus.
Nah,
Okay, Haas, you're up.
look, I went with the guy who inspired me to love and watch this even more than anything. The first player I've loved that's don't play for the New Orleans Saints, Mr. Brett Favre himself.
Barbara.
Yeah, I figured that was where you were going.
Luckily, it was right there.
I have always been a Sterling Sharp fan, though. So that was up there with my mentions, but just because, it's my.
Look, it's even a Reebok jersey. Look at them hoes.
Yeah, look at them hoes. They're all on the corner.
Raph, who you got?
Look at that mesh. Look at that mesh.
You
Look at
got
that Reebok
the
mesh.
Packers, the greatest quarterback, I think, history in the NFL as far as a whole one team. Bart Starr, if you said it, fine. Aaron Rodgers, if you said it, fine. Brett Favre, if you said it, fine. But Reggie White, the greatest free agent in the history of the NFL. Top 5 player of all time, Reggie White.
Oh, yeah. All love for
Dylan?
Reggie White.
And he's a Packer because he won the Super Bowl.
Mr. Wrangler guy.
He went with Barbara.
Say again.
Mr. Wrangler guy.
Brett Barbara.
So we got Mr. Favre. Okay, Ken.
Yeah, I already said it with the Eagles. This is the Minister of Defense.
Reggie White.
Reggie
Josh,
White.
who you got?
I got QB1 Aaron Rodgers.
Adam, do something with this kid.
Adam, you
Jeremy,
failed
Well,
again.
I mean, he did have what 54,000 yards with the Packers, so it's hard.
I don't know what's wrong with Aaron Rodgers.
Whatever.
You
And,
failed.
and,
I
and
don't know. I mean,
Where
Aaron
would you like
Rodgers,
for me to start, Rav?
Aaron Rodgers went to the same amount of Super Bowls as Trent Dilfer.
And Rex Grossman.
Oh, God.
All right, Jeremy, who you got, buddy?
Bart Starr. I agree with my dad. It's Bart Starr. Won back-to-back Super Bowls with him. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I really honestly was thinking Ray Nitschke for a hot minute. But
That'd be a good pick, too.
And honestly, number 2 on my list would have been Jerry Kramer for the block in the ice bowl.
Yes.
yeah. This is another one, guys. I think we're going to go unanimous on this one, I think. Haas, I'm going to let you lead off with it. How about them fighting New Orleans Saints?
Well, can I do what Dylan did last week and let me pick the order and I'll go last for this one? I want to see if this goes across the board or not. So
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'll let Dylan go first. Dylan, you go first. Who's your best New Orleans Saint of all time?
Drew Brees.
J-Man, who you got? Josh.
Number 2 on my all-time QB list, Drew Brees.
Rav. Be on mute.
This is more than even Barry Sanders, not close. Drew Brees. No other answer.
Ken.
I mean, it's not Manning, the first quarterback ever. No, it's Cool Breeze.
Jeremy.
I guess I'm the oddball here because I'm going to say the fans for wearing the bags first.
I should have pulled the bag out. I should have got the bag ready. You've seen the bag. You've
I
seen
know.
the bag.
I know.
We did say player, you know.
Oh, yeah, player. Sorry. It's Drew Brees.
All right, Rich.
Drew Brees.
and Adam.
I mean, is there anyone out other than that guy? That guy. I mean,
I'll take
Drew
Ricky
Brees.
I'll take Ricky Jackson, or I'll take
Deuce
Archie
McAllister.
Manning. I'm not taking Reggie Bush. I'm not taking Joe Horn. I'm not taking Deuce McAllister. I mean, rest in peace, Will Smith, but I can't say Will Smith. I can't even say. I can't even
Willie
say.
Rowe.
Or
You could say
Willie
Willie
Rowe.
Rowe.
I'll take Willie Rowe too. He was one of the best linemen they had. But you got.
I really like Willie Rolfe and Sam Mills too. They were awesome players, but they're not. Come on, Drew Brees.
No, not
Yeah,
Brees.
it's the guy that took a city and brought peace back to the city after one of the most devastating hurricanes. That's going to make its 20-year anniversary this year.
You're talking
And
about a
who brought
QB that
hope
made-
back. He's their Jesus. Like Drew Brees is like Jesus. They worship him. They literally worship the guy. Like they bow to his feet when he walks down the French Quarter. He brought that city back to life.
Look at
He
it this way.
changed the game and all them records he had. Too.
Look at it this way. He made Marcus Colston and Slant Boy Michael Thomas household names.
He made Jeremy Shockey a household name. He made Jimmy
Graham.
Graham a household
Jeremy
name.
Shockey was a household name in college.
Yeah.
He made Devery Henderson more relevant. Like he made all
No.
these amazing guys.
The first bit of relevance Devery Henderson had was, more than what he ever had. So
Now I don't.
but-
I'll go first for the next one. Whatever we do next, I'll take the first one since I didn't go first.
okay, because I think this one's going to be unanimous too.
What's that?
The Carolina Panthers.
Oh, I got
Marcus?
Steve Smith.
Oh, okay. Adam.
I'm with Marcus. I got Steve Smith. I know we could have went Luke Kirkley, but
I've been pronouncing.
I think Steve.
Wait, is
I
that?
think
I
Steve
thought it was Keeley. I've been pronouncing his name Luke Keeley.
It's Keith.
Luke Kuechly.
Oh,
Listen,
wow.
everyone in the audience, everyone on the panel knows I butcher last name.
I could put your last name.
I'm going Cam Newton.
Oh,
Wait a minute. He was only good till he hurt his back, and after that, he was trash.
I'm
I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure Cam Newton's the greatest Carolina Panther quarterback of all time.
Jake
Sure
Delhomme.
he is.
Jake Delhomme.
Ken, who you got?
I'm going with the guy who played for two teams in the NFC North, is now in the Hall of Fame. The Lovie Smith showed up at his door at promptly 12 o'clock in 1 second when free agency signed to sign him and bring him to Chicago. And that's just, got some peppers in your step, baby.
Oh, shit.
Julius Peppers.
Can't leave out Julius Peppers. No way.
Dylan, who you got?
He was a monster too. What was he? 6'9"?
He was a big boy.
6'6", 6'7", something
Yeah.
like that.
Maybe one of the toughest wide receivers in NFL history, Steve Smith Sr. You forgot the senior.
It was just Steve Smith then.
Yeah, that's true. Rav.
All four names are great, but I'm kind of in line with Julius Peppers. I think he was the best player they had in the franchise. Edge rush. I underrated Julius Peppers. Julius Peppers was tremendous.
He was
Jeremy?
badass at Ole Miss. I'll give him that.
Steve
Yeah.
Smith. Hands down for me.
Josh.
Mister should have died for the ball. Cam Newton.
I'm shocked no one said Jake Delhomme.
I just said him over
Daylight
Cam
coming,
Newton.
you got the Delhomme, just doesn't. All right, so this one should be fun. How about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Ooh,
This should also-
I'm going to
this-
lead this one off.
good.
There's
Can I
two,
go for,
two names that
Yeah,
I got.
I'll start
I got.
this one off. Warwick Dunn.
Let me go next.
Ken, who you got?
Never mind.
God, you can go A-Train. You can go SAP.
There's
You
a
can go so
bunch,
many-
yeah.
You can go so many places with this team. I'm going to go with SAP.
Let me go next.
Okay. Pause, who you got?
I got one of the most meanest, toughest, and biggest trash talking sons of bitches they ever had, Derek Brooks.
Amen.
There, gross, yeah.
Very good. Adam?
I got the best fullback in the game. One season, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. Dude was just so fun to watch when he had the ball. Mike Allstott.
A-Train!
Rav?
I love that answer. I think he might be the greatest fullback of all time, actually. Not named Jim Brown. I cannot separate Sapp and Brooks. I'm gonna break the rule and say both names. I gotta say both.
Yeah, we
I
have our first co-greatest, folks.
Can't
How you
separate
think I
Sapp and Brooks.
felt? Like
I
was
say,
put
Rap,
into
rules
the-
are meant to be broken.
Yeah, I can't. It's so close. It's too close for me. Sapp and
I'd,
Brooks.
I'd ask a coworker. I said, "Who should I pick? Derek Brooks or Warren Sapp?" He said, "Bruh, Derek Brooks all the way." I said, "Okay, we'll do that."
Jeremy, what do you got?
Derek Brooks was a beast.
I can't believe no one
He
said
was.
this yet, but I'm going to the back end of the defense. Another safety that was a hard hitter and one of the best in the NFL, and now a current GM, John Lynch.
Dylan?
Yeah, Lynch is a good one too.
Who am I going to slap because none of you guys got my guy? You're right in the secondary, Jeremy, but the right
Oh,
Ballberg twin, that'd be
Number
Rondé
20.
Ballberg.
oh,
Mr. Barber.
Oh, and by the
Rondé.
way, number 2, how come nobody said Mike Evans? Hasn't he gone over 1,000 yards for like 11 years?
He's up there, but he's not the greatest. Josh, who you got?
I got Mike Evans.
I think.
Well, there you go.
I wonder how many times Derek in that time of the frame, Derek Brooks sacked Aaron Brooks back in the day when they would play the Saints. Quite often.
The Bucs were kind of like the Commanders. They had so many players kind of at the same. Not those players like sent way up there, but they're all kind of like a lot of really.
How
good
did they
players.
only had one chance? I figured they'd had like 3 or 4 at least. They only had one.
you
One Super
forget.
Bowl.
I mean, could have you went Steve Young as a Buck? Sorry, Jeremy.
Don't forget, this team set the record for most consecutive losses by any franchise at 26.
Yep.
Yeah, at the beginning, yep.
Are you sure the
we
Steelers
wrap up.
don't own that record?
The Steelers don't
I'm
own
like,
that
All
record.
right, now.
1933 to.
Not even
The NFC South, we're going to wrap this one up with another one that I think is going to be pretty fun. The Atlanta Falcons.
the Sail Camp.
Josh, start this one off.
I have 2 choices, but I'm gonna go with Julio Jones.
Can't
Good
go wrong
choice.
with it.
Wait a minute.
Jeremy,
Jeremy, about the guy
yeah.
that gets in the red zone and becomes allergic to the end zone? Jesus. But anyways, you know, if he wouldn't have been in the dogfighting, I'd have been able to put him up there. But I got to go with the other guy that got him to a Super Bowl and lost the biggest lead ever, Matty Ice, Matt Ryan.
Ryan, okay. Rav, who you got?
Oh, he muted himself, right? He's talking.
I'm muted. Deion Sanders was the greatest cornerback in the history of the NFL. I think of him as a Falcon where he started his career. Deion Sanders, number 1.
Wasn't he the only player?
Dylan.
Wasn't he the only versatile player to hit a run one back and hit a home run in the same week?
Deion did it all on the field. He was fantastic. No question.
Atlanta is Julio's team.
Ken.
When Jeremy said Vic, I was thinking, you take the dogfighting piece out of it. You almost have to say Vic because Vic made Vic what you think of Atlanta, you thought of Vic, and vice versa. And he once again. If there's no Vic, there's no Lamar, there's no Fields, there's no all these guys who play or have run. There aren't any of those guys. So for me, it's Vic.
But there was a guy before him that I think was better, and that was Randall Cunningham. But that's another story.
I like Cunningham, but Vic changed everything. Like
Also,
he
you got,
just
man. Oh,
changed
sorry.
it all. No, go ahead.
Also, you got.
I went with everybody's favorite quarterback in Madden 04, Michael Vick. The guy had an overall rating of 97, and it was tough with that or even Tony Gonzalez, but I said Michael Vick.
Okay. Adam, who you got?
367 touchdowns, 59,735 yards. Matty Ice.
I'm gonna really get some people fired up on this one.
Oh, boy.
Go
really
for it,
think I
Rich.
am.
You're allowed.
Oh no.
Morton Anderson.
You mean the guy that cost them another playoff chance to get to a Super Bowl?
Do
You
you
know,
think
I almost want Jason Hansen rings a bell for
By the way,
for
no, true story, Jeremy. Morton Anderson actually helped my Jaguars get into the playoffs by missing last game of the year in '96, and then we ended up in the AFC title game.
I remember.
I was wanting to go Tony Gonzalez real bad, but he only spent 4 years in Atlanta, so I
Right.
couldn't do it. So I ended up going Morton Anderson.
I'm glad you didn't pick Bill Goldberg.
No.
Thank God.
I could have gone Bill Fralick though. Another WrestleMania alum.
Probably a better Bill than Bill Goldberg.
WrestleMania 2 there, Bill Fraley.
Yeah, it was
hit a lump,
the
Bill
Battle
Fralick,
Royal.
huh?
Hey, if it wasn't for Walter
Huh?
Payton, I would have probably said the fridge for the Bears.
Is it
The
isn't
that's
the
who I've been
Pitt
running.
Hall of Fame?
Fralick? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the NFC West is what we got left. Let's start off with this one. I think the whole division is going to be fun. But let's start off with the Los Angeles Rams. Now, you can also include the first incarnation of the Los Angeles Rams and the St. Louis Rams and the Chicago Rams and the Dodge Rams
Don't
and
forget
the
Cleveland
Montana
Rams.
Mountain Rams. And okay, you with
We
me
were
on
saying we
this?
can have more than one.
Don't forget
I'll go for
Cleveland Rams.
One pick, but you can
that carries-
include all those teams.
Hey, that
So-
Terry's been busted, so yes, Ken, you can.
But I'm going to go ahead and Dylan, you haven't started one. Go ahead.
You know what? It's Alera's Reggie White, maybe the greatest interior defensive lineman of the 21st century. From Pitt, Aaron Donald.
Yep. Brav?
Oh, Marshall Falk. I think like there was nothing they ever had like Marshall Falk. Hard to pick him over Eric Dickerson, but Marshall Falk, the greatest Ram
The
of all time.
biggest trade in history. The Colts ended up with 2 picks for Marshall Falk. But they ended up getting a pretty good running back in the end because they're both in the Hall of Fame. Edgar and James.
Edgar and James, yep.
From my neck of the woods.
Haas, who you got?
I also got my Louisiana brother, Marshall Falk, who's also related to Kevin Falk.
Adam?
So this man got a penalty created for his move, the head slap. He also created a stat that is well adapted now called sacks. Deacon Jones.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I always thought he was one of the coolest players ever. Watched him play when I was a kid. He was part of the death penalty at a college. He helped force a college to lose their football program. But Eric Dickerson, give me a big chunk of Eric Dickerson with the Rams. Honorable mention to our boy from Pitt, Aaron Donald. Ken.
So, as the Bears are making a historic run to the '85 Super Bowl, there was one guy that stood in their way until he came to the frozen field that used to be AstroTurf in Chicago. When they played that game, it was turf, hard turf at that. And I think he had no yards, negative yards, but he was the only guy who was going to bring the Bears down in the playoffs. And that defense stood up and stood him up, but that's Eric Dickerson. He's the only guy the Bears were ever scared of in that run. And coming to that game, the talk the whole week was, how do the Bears stop Dickerson? For no other game was there talk about how they're going to stop anybody. Just Dickerson. So, yeah, for me, it's Dickerson. And I'll give an honorable mention to Fox. I was in St. Louis for the greatest show on turf. Went to a lot of games that year, and he was something special. And he changed the running back position. But,
He did.
he was like that sneaky kill you at that point. Like, you didn't know if he was running or catching, but Dickerson, you could be ready for him, and he'd still run you over. Only one defense ever stopped him.
Yep. Josh, who you got?
I got Aaron Donald.
And Jeremy, who you got?
I guess someone none of you said. And it's Jack Youngblood. That guy was the heart of that defense when he was there.
Played Super
That
Bowl
was another
14
one
with
of
a
my
broken
honorable
leg.
mentions, sure.
Yep.
Merlin Olsen was really good for them too. I'll just mention him. Like he was probably the corniest TV show of all time, Little Palace on the Prairie, when he was an actor. But I think the Fierce Enforcement,
Father Murphy.
yeah, it was corny as crap. But outstanding, total opposite what he was on the field. Meanest guy you ever saw.
Yeah. How about we go jump to the mighty Northwest, the fighting Seattle Seahawks. Jeremy, lead us off.
Sean Alexander. One of the
Boy,
best.
another one, if he would have stayed healthy.
Yeah.
What if he would have won
Yeah,
a Super Bowl in your
I
stadium?
think that's a great pick, Jeremy. I really do. Rav?
Trying that for now, y'all not to hear the TV, so I'm unmuting myself. The first name I thought of was Steve Largent, and I gotta say Steve Largent. I think Steve Largent is probably maybe the most underrated receiver in the history of the NFL.
Hall of Famer.
Haas?
I also went with Steve Largent, a guy who got drafted to Houston, but then ended up with Seattle in '76.
Adam?
Hall of Famer Steve Largent.
Dylan?
Steve Largent, number 80 in your program.
Josh?
I'm going with Bobby Wagner.
There you go. There you go. Ken?
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Marshawn.
The only man who's registered seismic activity from playing the game of football. The only man who took a kid's treat and turned it into the treat of, Skittles. Look what the man did for Skittles. Come on. It's Marshall. And he's the best person.
I'm going to go back to a little old school here. Same name as another Hall of Famer, different spelling. Running back Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
There were really good teams in the 80s they had. Never Super Bowl level, but good teams. Kurt Warner, yeah, that's a name.
Cortez Kennedy and all those guys, yeah.
Good running back, good college player too, yeah.
Even the 90s, 80s to 90s, they Seattle always had a good team. They could just never get there.
That good.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised I didn't hear Walter Jones.
He's another one that could have been considered, yeah.
No Russell either. I was ready for somebody to say Russell Wilson.
I guarantee you who it wouldn't have been. Okay, we got two left. Let's do the Arizona Cardinals next. Josh, lead us off, buddy.
This should be unanimous.
Let me go find. I don't know. Let me go find my notes real quick. Hold on. It is. Oh no.
Lacker.
Fitzgerald.
Don't worry, guys. I yelled at him backstage to tell him to do
We
his
got it.
fucking homework next time.
Larry Fitzgerald. All right.
And stay awake
may
for all
be-
the and stay awake for all the races.
This may actually be unanimous. I don't know. Ken, who you got?
Hold on, give me a
This
second.
could be.
All right, here's my answer. I'm going old school. I have reasons for this. Jim Hart.
Okay.
Now, he
Right,
played
I
for
got
them when they were St. Louis. Now, here's the other part of my reason, besides the fact that he was the best player in that franchise for a long time. He also played high school ball with my dad.
Well, there you go.
So, So a little favoritism for the guy who played football with my dad as well, but no, Jim Hart, who was also, by the way, the sporting director of SIU when the Salukis kept making the NCAA Final Four year after year after year in the early 90s. So not only was he a winner on the football field, he was a good sports director at Southern Illinois University.
Nice. You guys know where I'm going. Number 11,
Larry.
Fitzgerald. Adam, who you got?
When he almost beat us for the Super Bowl win, I didn't feel bad. Like, I don't know, because it was Larry Fitzgerald. I remember watching it going, well, if we lose, we lost to an ex-Pitt guy, really good guy. I wouldn't have felt bad at all. I wouldn't. I mean, I would have felt bad we lost, but at the same time, how we lost, that was
if it would have been to a bunch of douche nozzles like the Cowboys, it would have been a whole different discussion. But yeah, I mean,
I will note Fitz is my
I'm with you, Adam. I agree 100% with you, man. If we'd have lost to Fitz and Kurt Warner on top of that, as good a guy as Kurt Warner is, it'd been kind of tough. Dylan,
yeah,
who you got, man?
I still see Larry Fitzgerald running by the whole Steelers defense at Raymond James Stadium. It's Fitz. Maybe the best version of a professional wide receiver.
Jeremy?
I'm going to go with a guy that went in the Army and was killed by friendly fire, Pat Tillman.
Pat Tillman.
Yeah. Rav?
No, Rav liked that one.
Pat Tillman's cool, man. Shout out Pat Tillman. I'm gonna say another name. Aeneas Williams was a guy for so many years. I felt so bad. He was really good for a lot of bad teams. But you gotta say Larry Fitzgerald. Greatest hands I ever saw on a football field, Larry Fitzgerald.
So you got, man?
I'm gonna close it out also with Larry Fitzgerald.
Very good. I saved what to me is the best out of the NFC for last, because I think it comes down to two guys and that's it. But let's see how it works. The San Francisco 49ers. Josh, who you got?
Can I start it off with the greatest football player in NFL history? Number 80, Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice. Josh, who you got?
I got Jerry Rice also.
Ken?
I'm gonna go with Montana.
Jeremy?
Love me some Jerry Rice, but I'll go with Montana.
I went Joe Montana.
Pittsburgh guy.
Rav?
Western Allegheny guy.
Jerry Rice, no matter what list we're doing, he's number one. Greatest football player ever. Jerry Rice, number one.
Haas?
The GOAT, Jerry Rice.
Adam?
I need some goat juice. Jerry Rice.
Didn't they also
What's his energy drink called? Goat Fuel?
Something like that.
When is
You guys got some of you,
I thought they
some
also
of you
called him like
guys have
Jerry.
it half right. Some of you guys got it half right. The greatest of all time, Joe Montana. Jerry Rice is second as far as an overall player. Joe Montana executed the West Coast offense created by one of the greatest coaches in the history of the game in Bill Walsh.
Let him finish.
He won 3 Super Bowls, never even panicked a drop, took 2 of them and won them in the last minute of the game. It's Joe Montana, hands down. Yes, sir. Dylan, what you got?
Yes, we all remember the Super Bowl when he's looking at celebrities and then throwing touch and then leading maybe the greatest drive in Super Bowl history. But Jerry Rice won MVP of that team.
Hey, you know what? Let me help Rich out. Jerry Rice, you may be cool, but you're not call your wife from the sideline cool like someone else is.
He just pushed 9 and dialed my home number and said hello.
Right.
Jerry Rice was better than Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Deion Sanders, anybody you want to name. Jerry Rice was the most dominant player on the football field ever in any era. Period.
There's arguments for who the greatest quarterback is. There's not an argument for who the greatest wide receiver is.
His records are
I
he's so
get that.
far away from everybody else in the wide receiver, even in the modern era. No question.
And by the way, Dylan, Montana won 3 Super Bowls, won the MVP in 3 Super Bowls.
4 Super Bowls.
Steve Young won the 4th one.
No, he didn't. Montana won Super Bowl 16 or 17 Detroit.
He has one for each hand, remember? We all seen the commercial. He technically has 5. Everybody forgets that he had the catch by Dwight Clark to win a Super Bowl.
Young got the 5th one.
NFC,
they got.
That was the NFC Championship.
That was the NFC Championship.
Well, however many
He won 16. He won 16, 19, and 24. Or I'm
23.
sorry.
And then however many
24 was Steve Young.
However many
Steve Young.
However many Steve Young had.
No, Montana won Super Bowl 24 because that's when they dismantled the Broncos in New Orleans.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I was right on that.
Well, however many Steve Young got, he only won 1 as a starter. The rest he was a backup.
Yep.
Well, yeah, he won 1 with the Niners, and remember at the end of the game, he had them walk over and take the big monkey off his back because everybody was giving him all kinds of crap because he couldn't get the job finished and that kind of deal because they lost to the Cowboys in the NFC Championship when the Cowboys were on that little run.
2 years in a row.
Yeah, and then they beat up the Chargers when they should have been playing the Steelers if Neil O'Donnell was worth anything.
That wasn't Neil O'Donnell. That was our defense fault.
Neil O'Donnell had Eric Green wide ass open in the end zone and couldn't.
Matter. We shouldn't have got beat. We shouldn't have got beat on a deep ball with no time left.
Neil O'Donnell got Larry Brown a lot of money.
The last play of the game,
yes,
you've got a guy as big as the scoreboard standing in the end zone. That
doesn't matter.
Open.
Doesn't matter.
And you
Rich.
can't hit him.
The defense.
It's like a major league
defense let go a deep ball with very little time left.
I get that, but championship quarterbacks come back from that. See Joe Montana. See Ben Roethlisberger. Fitzgerald made that huge touchdown play. Ben brings him right back down the field and hits Santonio Holmes on what's probably the greatest catch in Super Bowl history. Great quarterbacks do that stuff, which is why Neil O'Donnell is not in any way, shape, or form a great quarterback.
Rich, we talk to Cowboy fans, we might get a different story.
Well, that's true because if we talk to Larry Brown, he's his best friend.
Got him paid.
Larry Brown, he made Larry Brown $40 million. I mean, shoot.
Go ahead, Joe.
I'm about to.
I was agreeing. Neil O'Donnell got Larry Brown paid so much it wasn't funny.
Yep.
Oh, believe me, us in Pittsburgh know that for sure.
Larry Brown and James Washington made more money off of interceptions from Neil O'Donnell than they would have ever made otherwise.
Look, there's instances of people who we say are good or great quarterbacks where that's the case. Favre and all his interceptions, his 1 Super Bowl is only because he had a good backup behind him, a man with 2 rings, Jim McMahon. I mean, you can make cases for quarterbacks, good, bad, or indifferent like that across the board. I mean, look how much money Favre made guys like Urlacher, who intercepted him more than anyone, it seemed. And they're just these guys. I mean, the quarterbacks, when you get the quarterbacks, there's only a few who you can say legit didn't make anyone famous because of their bad play. And sorry, but the number 1 guy in San Francisco is one of those guys.
Yeah. Montana didn't he never tried to put the ball where it didn't go. Brett Favre, guys like that had now Montana didn't have Favre's fastball either. But guys like Favre and guys like Rodgers and guys even like Randall Cunningham who had that fastball that they could really rip that thing. Yeah, Elway. They tried forcing it into spots that you've got a hole this big to throw it into, and if you're even a millimeter off, you're done. and a lot of times it didn't work, but a lot of times it did.
Also, he had Jerry Rice on his team. He had great receivers. Yeah, John Taylor was a great receiver. I don't think Montana played with T.O.
Oh, once he got Rice and Taylor, yes. You're not going to convince me that Freddie Solomon and Dwight Clark were great receivers.
No. You're right about that.
That's who he won the first Super Bowl with.
Look, Montana and Young would be on the top of a lot of these lists for a lot of these teams. So I'm not dissing them at all. But there's no such thing as better than Jerry Rice, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Sure there is.
Jeremy, what do you got, man?
So I lost it now. It's been too long.
He was going to say Megatron's better than Jerry Rice. That's what he was
No,
going to say.
that isn't what I was going to say.
One season
he was, but not a career.
Now, could you put? Okay, here's the way I look at those two guys, because I have Megatron as number 2. If there is anybody that you could have a conversation about that with, it's Megatron. It's still Rice, but the only guy that you could even come close to having that conversation with is Megatron.
Because of the 100.
It's just like in the NBA.
Here to set the record.
Yeah, it's just like in the NBA. You know, you've got the guy. There's a pretty decent sized gap between the guy, and we know who the guy is, and number 2. Whoever your number 2 is, whether it's LeBron, Kobe, Kareem, whoever it is, there's a pretty good gap between 1, who is MJ, and 2. Same thing in hockey. I don't care what anybody says about Ovechkin. Gretzky is still the best of all time, and everybody else is playing for second.
But other than that last year that Aaron Rodgers had there before he went on to New York and then fell apart, and just a few more plays than Abraham Lincoln was shot in. But he had 105 touchdowns and 5 interceptions for his career in regular season at that point. That's unheard of.
Right.
Unheard of. You're right, Jeremy. That's absolutely unheard of.
Just looked at my list. I had Jerry Rice 1, Larry Fitzgerald 2, T.O., Randy Moss, and Tim Brown. I want to say Tim Brown. I think Tim Brown was very underrated as a receiver. Very good for a long time.
I agree with you. I love that you have Tim Brown and T.O. Tim Brown was just, Tim Brown, he just did it. Like, he wasn't in the media. He just went out there and he just put up numbers with teams that were sometimes good, sometimes and he just did it. And then T.O., people just think about get your popcorn ready and all the hijinks. But, dude, remember, his Super Bowl year with Philly, broken leg, comes back from the broken leg for the Super Bowl and still performs. I mean, T.O., there's a reason why you couldn't deny him the Hall of Fame. I mean, those guys, are they at Rice level? No. Could they have been given different situations? Maybe, possibly. I don't know. But I love that you have Tim Brown, especially because he gets forgotten.
And Tim Brown was, I know Dylan wants to talk, but Tim Brown was kind of like what Mike Evans is now. Like over and over and over and over and over and over with the 1,000-yard seasons over and over.
Yeah.
Dylan wants to say something.
Except Evans doesn't return kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask 3 people. Big Rich, what the heck were the Pirates doing pulling Paul Skeens when he was at 78 pitches on Sunday?
Allowing him to be ready for Tuesday.
Josh, I don't know about you, but I think the FIA screwed us with that 10-second bull crap penalty on Sunday.
That's what I said yesterday on Rich's show.
There should have been 5 at most. And you know how much of a Orlando fan I am. I love
British bias, am I right?
And Adam, you want to draft afterwards? So that you want to draft afterward?
No, but Dylan, I think me and Rich are gonna do one with you.
Ooh.
We just don't know when.
Yeah, just gotta.
So don't burn all your money, all right? Don't burn all your money. We're gonna do
one. I'm going to draft tomorrow night, and we're going to win $2 million. Hopefully.
I do have a little tidbit that I read earlier, and it has to do with our favorite quarterback to talk about on the Browns, Shedeur Suzuki Sanders. He's actually eligible to be picked up and moved to the CFL according to the arbitrary agreement. He's the first quarterback that was drafted in the NFL this last season that they could do that, which means he would go to the Toronto Argonauts.
Wait. How'd this all happen to begin with?
It was there's a rule on day 3, the first quarterback taken can be taken by the worst team in the CFL, and the NFL can't do anything to stop it.
Can the player?
Guys,
no.
I'm going to head out. Spunky Spectrum Sports Big D podcast. If anybody wants to check out the Big D birthday bash tomorrow night, I'll be on maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock.
I got my son's birthday Thursday. Happy birthday, Dylan.
Happy
How old
birthday.
How old are you turning, Josh?
What
No,
not
not
me?
Josh Myler, my other skipper.
Oh, never mind.
He's gonna be 10.
Oh,
Oh, really? Wow. I haven't seen
Yeah,
him
remember
in
to
a
text him
while.
on Thursday, Josh.
He never opens my text, so I will.
You gonna be 47, Dylan?
33, homie.
33. All right.
Forever young.
That's me with the 47 there, Rich. You're getting me and
That's
him
all right.
confused.
I got a few more than that coming in about 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So I got a few more than that.
3 months. 3 months from tomorrow, I turn the big 5-5.
Nice.
I'll be 54 August 3rd.
I'll be
But it-
53 in November.
In 2 days,
Wait a minute. Wait. So I'm only a year off of being the senior citizen of this bunch?
yeah,
I'm 40. I'll be 40. I'll
How
be
is that?
40. How old will I be?
Oh
I'll be
my.
48.
Me and my son are the youngest on this panel. That's
Oh
crazy.
my. I feel like a baby compared to you guys.
That's okay. I'm the only one who's
You
retired.
are.
anyway,
I'm the only one who's fully retired, so there you go.
in 2 days,
I think Adam looks the youngest outside of Josh. Obviously, I thought Adam was like in his 20, like all the time. It's like, what the hell? How does he know all this stuff from old school?
Well,
Like, it's
shut-
something he said, oh yeah, he's like
Shut-
40 something.
take off the hat. Show him the hat. Show
Yeah,
him the-
that's what he did. He showed me.
My,
the
no,
hat.
it's
like,
a
oh,
big
yeah.
flake right now, dude. Like I got totally burned over the weekend.
All you
But anyways,
Sounds like a personal problem to me, there, dude.
anyway, in 2
Yeah.
days, Smoking Dad turns 76.
Damn, happy
Very
birthday,
good.
Dad.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We play the music for you, but we don't have it.
I'll have
My grandson turns 4 at the end of the month, so we'll have to have him pop on at some point before then. So
I'm not in that one yet. You got me there. I don't have
Grandparent time is the best time.
he's
I'm
4
grandparent
going
daycare
on
Monday through Friday.
14.
Yeah, you get to get them all sugared up and send them home.
My
Bastard.
That little
granddaughter.
turkey bird, man.
My
My
granddaughter.
oldest daughter, she's only 18, so I don't have we don't have that one yet.
We got the
Well,
one
our
grandparent.
oldest- Our oldest turned 25 in September. So
Oh yeah,
Like,
26 in September, sorry.
My
Our oldest
granddaughter-
turned 26 in September and then 24 for the youngest in August.
Does anyone else have their kids' birthdays all on the 10th of the month they were born?
But my granddaughter turned 4 in November.
Grandkids
That seems
are the
like
best.
Forever young.
Yeah, my grandson starts the parade of holidays around our family. It just follows one after the next. You got his birthday, my birthday, my mother-in-law's, or our youngest two's birthdays. My mother-in-law's birthday, and it just all the way into January with my son-in-law, and then our anniversary is in March. It kind of sits off by itself. So.
But a long ways back, my dad said that I knew which guy that he said was the greatest backup quarterback all time, and it was the same quarterback that took 2 different teams as a backup to the Super Bowl to get sat down for the starter, and that's Earl Morrell.
Earl Morrell.
Baltimore Colts, brother.
And then on to
And the Dolphins.
the Miami Dolphins.
That's right.
The undefeated
Yep.
season when Greasy.
That's the Kyle Orton story, right? His rookie year in Chicago, wins 10 games, gets the Bears to the playoffs. They send him for Rex Grossman. Rex goes in, one and done.
Kyle, don't call me Randy Orton.
You know what's funny about Orton? He got no votes for Rookie of the Year that year. Offensive Rookie of the Year got no votes, but he won 10 games as a rookie starter at the time. That was kind of unheard of for a rookie starter to win 10 games. And here comes Orton, very unassuming, does it. They bring Rex Grossman back in, and that was. I bet there are people to this day who debate that if Orton had started instead of Grossman, the Bears may have won the Super Bowl that year.
And who they bring in after that? You're leaving that part out after Grossman.
Sexy Rexy.
Yeah.
Jay Butler.
We traded for Cutler. We traded Orton for Cutler because then Rexy was gone. Then we made Orton a starter, and then we traded Orton for Cutler.
Right. Then after that, you got Mitch Trubisky.
There's a waste of prime natural resources for you.
Then it was Bustin Fields, and now we're on Caleb Williams.
Fields might, Fields this could be a season. He might turn that career around up there. I mean, not that he's had bad numbers in the two places he's been, but don't be surprised if Fields becomes like the guy in New York.
Yeah,
to do what? Play football?
The thing that I think.
The one thing that got me, Ken, about Trubisky, going back to that for a second.
Yeah.
The Bears gave away all that stuff to get up to 2, and you're thinking, okay, they're going to get Mahomes, they're going to get whoever, and they take Trubisky.
Or they're going to get Watson, yeah.
I
remember they picked everyone was like, who? And really, his rookie year, he wasn't bad. I mean, he wasn't bad his rookie year. Then some injuries and some bad coaching happened, and now he's just a super backup for the Bills. I mean, Trubisky showed signs that first year that, maybe they knew what they were doing. And then after a couple of injuries, he wasn't the same after one injury and thumb injury, and that's how it goes in the NFL.
But at the same time, I think the thing that ruined Mitch Trubisky the most was that birthday party when Dwayne Haskins got killed.
Yep, that too.
Because he was hosting the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another first round pick I forgot about. Like we never did find out about Dwayne Haskins. He struggled. He kind of fell out of favor in Washington, and he never even got a chance to rebound. Wasn't he in Philadelphia? Wasn't he in Pittsburgh?
He was in Pittsburgh, yes, because that's when they signed Mitch Trubisky to be the backup, and they brought him in from the foreskins and was training him to be that guy, and he was supposed to compete with Mitch Trubisky as the backup that year, and he threw that birthday party where Dwayne Haskins' wife drugged him.
Yeah,
we don't know. That's alleged.
No,
she got
arrested and convicted.
Well, for the sake of our stream, it's alleged. We're not going to.
She's convicted.
I understand.
Yeah, she's convicted, so it's not alleged anymore. It's convicted.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's like saying Ted Bundy allegedly killed it. No, sorry. Speaking of Dwayne's that you're not real sure what happened to that had a really promising future when they came out. Remember when Dwayne Bowe got drafted?
Yes.
And everybody thought that he was going to be an absolute monster.
Yes.
And did absolutely zero in Kansas City.
Well, I mean, that's what I love about the draft, though. The draft is like, you want to be good at the draft, this is what you do. Go to Vegas and just bet on either red or black.
Yep. But the reason that Dwayne Bowe fell apart the way he did was when Alex Smith hunned him out to dry and that safety wrecked his knee. He was never the same after that because he was on his way to a great season that first year.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been every year, I hate, I've already seen, because this is the time of year where we're in the clickbait season. The couple weeks before camp, there's not really any OTAs. There's not really anything much going on. So you got all the clickbait. They're already doing, here are the guys who are going to be busts from last year's drafts. Like, guys, they have 1 year under the belt, all in differing situations. What's his name that the Vikings took?
J.J. McCarthy.
McCarthy?
No, not left. No, the defensive end.
Oh man,
I don't have a clue.
2 years ago, defensive end.
yeah, I'm drawing a blank too.
Yeah,
But they're like, oh, he's a bust. Why? He's in a deep lineup. He still plays. He's effective. Oh, Roma Dunze's a bust. Well, how's he going to be a bust in that? I mean, he had a solid rookie year. It wasn't like blow the doors off. It was solid. I think it's funny when people were in that, these people are busts and, you got to wait 3 years on these guys. And there are so many guys who come out with so much hype out of the draft because the draft is such a hype machine that they can never live to the hype. It's like waiting for Phantom Menace to come out. It never.
Well, if Adunze had a decent quarterback thrown to him, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I said the same thing. If he didn't have Caleb Williams thrown to him, he'd have been better.
Yeah. If they had an offensive line, but that we'll see what happens this year with the O line.
Have a great night, everybody.
Have a good one, JB.
See you
in
later,
the morning. But I mean, it's just like with the draft. It's like you got to wait 3 years. You got to wait 3 years.
We had in Baltimore, I saw this. Kyle Hamilton kind of struggled his first training camp. He got beat in the game. He got beat in coverage a couple times. And they were yelling, he's a bust. We get him out of here. This guy can't. It's like, God, like he just got drafted. It's his first training camp. And obviously, Hamilton might be the best safety in the league right now. One of them.
I'm glad I didn't hear that stuff.
People just get too crazy at times about training camp and all that. So,
no,
well, not clickbait time. So it's like, Ben Johnson hates Swift. Says who?
That's going to be his best friend.
Some writer who needs someone clicks to make his quota for the day. I mean,
how many offensive coaches have the Bears ever had?
Well, I
don't think they've ever had two.
No, Ditka was the last one because Lovie Smith was head coach. He had great defenses. He never had his best offense was the 15th ranked offense in the league, and that was the year they went to the Super Bowl and ruined Rex Grossman's career.
They had Matt Nagy.
Nagy, but Nagy. The problem with Nagy was he was good for the 1 year with Trubisky, but then he just thought, well, I can just do the same thing all the time, and everyone had the book on him, and that's why he's back to being an OC. He didn't change. Nagy didn't adapt. He was 1 year really good, and then he failed to adapt as a head coach. That's why he lost his job.
I think Nagy actually might wind up at some point taking the place of Andy Reid in Kansas.
Yes.
Whenever Reid does retire.
They might be grooming him or Spags, but I mean, but look at KC's offense. It's nothing to shout about, and he's calling the plays.
Yeah, and I don't see Andy Reid going maybe, but 2 more years maybe.
I don't know
Reid,
if he's coming back, so you never know. You might want to stick around a little longer now.
Reid's not going anywhere as long as Mahomes is there rolling the way he is. The only the thing with him is he's actually had medical issues. So I think that could be a thing where he can't. Where I think the same thing in John Harbaugh in Baltimore. As long as Lamar's there, he's not going anywhere. He's not going to retire.
Oh, there's a big difference. Yeah, but Rav, there's a big difference. I mean, Andy Reid's 67. John Harbaugh is in his 50s, if I remember.
John Harbaugh is 61 or 62.
John Harbaugh is 62. He's 5 years younger than Andy Reid. John Harbaugh looks 52. Andy Reid looks 67.
Yeah.
And then you got Pete Carroll at 72, and he's walking around like he's 60.
I think he's younger than that.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, people are going to sleep on the Raiders, and they're going to play better than you think. I'm not saying they're going to contend for the title or anything like that.
They had a lot of injuries.
But Pete Carroll is going to get good play out of it.
Cam Miller, baby.
Well, Raiders aren't terrible. Raiders aren't terrible. They're just in a tough division, I think.
Well, it's also they had a lot of injuries on the defensive side of the ball that really, really hurt them big last year. And now they got guys back, hopefully healthy. I mean, they're going to be competitive in that division. They look at that. AFC West used to be the best division of football at one point, and it's dipped, and it's making a comeback. They might argue for being the best division in the AFC. They might have an argument to pick with the AFC North. I think right now it's the North, but don't sleep on the AFC West. All 4 of those teams, great coaches, great rosters. The Raiders may be the weakest of that group, but don't sleep on them.
I think the West is the best division right now, and AFC West.
And boy, I tell you what, man, I hope Bo Nix improves off of last year, because if Bo Nix improves off of last year, Denver's a playoff team.
Last year's rookie class at quarterback is just insane because all 5 of those guys who are starting, we'll see if it's going to be Penix or not. I guess it is, but
Penix,
you look at Jaden, you look at Caleb, both of those guys. If they take steps forward, it's gonna be fun watching those two go at it every year. Look at the Bears' big problem was like the second worst or worst offensive line in the league. Now they're ranked the 6th best or something. They went from the second least amount spent on the O-line to the 6th most in the offseason. If they corrected that, who knows what kind of year Caleb and Rome and those guys are going to have. But watching that rookie class from last year in general at the quarterback position, what a great rookie class.
They got a great quarterback. They got also, too, you talk about Denver, they got Sean Payton there. So you're not worried about that. McCarthy, I'm not a fan of his, but look, he's got everything around him. He's got a good offensive coach. So the Penix is the one I'm the most worried about. Like, I don't think much for Raheem Morris at all as the head coach.
The big thing that concerns me about McCarthy is he came out of a run-first collegiate program. And that Minnesota offense is not run first by any stretch.
No,
and especially when you got receivers like he's got. You're dropping into having Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson, which should be absolute gold for him if he can capitalize.
Hawkinson's the guy is going to be his guy because who was his guy when they won the national championship? It was Loveland. Right? I mean, he loves the tight end. So, I mean, now the adjustment's going to be like, okay, you got to put the ball 40 yards downfield because these two guys will get it. But it's like the same thing last year with Darnold. Channel your inner Kyle Orton. Manage the game. You don't have to be flashy. Just go out there and play. Put the ball where it's supposed to be, and you're going to win 10 games.
Yeah. It's true. Well, guys, I got a boogie, man. Adam, you going to be okay shutting this thing down?
Yeah, I'm just going to say I got a boogie too, guys. 6 o'clock comes. 6:15 comes early.
What's that?
Still adjusting to this new schedule, Some of us ain't like Ken down there, just get to sleep in till,
Hey, I got to be up every day at 9 to do the morning show at 10. So I got to be up.
Oh, you just got to throw on a sweatshirt and go downstairs. Oh.
No, you have to do that. I just roll out of bed and walk over to the man cave. You kidding?
Very nice.
So every morning, Ken, you have a show where?
At Ken the Bear Fan on X, at Ken the Bear Fan on YouTube, on Roku, and Fire TV at the Huddle Sports Network app. Also, if you're on Facebook at Mike the Bear Fan, the Huddle Sports Network on there. We're on Apple, Spotify, and some other voice one I can't remember. Yeah, we got a few places, but X is we're the easiest probably to find me because everyone seems to be on X these days. So every morning, 10 a.m. Central, we talk football.
Josh,
it's hard. I gotta wake up early,
Anywhere to find you, Josh? Have you got your Twitter up yet?
Nah, not yet.
You need to get one, boy.
I know.
Raph, how people get you?
So definitely check us out, Ravery Sports on Twitter, Ravery Sports on Spotify now also as well. So you can check us out there. This week podcast we're gonna do top 10 offensive tackles in the NFL. Ravens schedule prediction. We're gonna do that as well. High school, which are the best players in high school coming up in the MLB draft. Sunday also, we're going to have our baseball stream. So we're going to talk about the Orioles and the Marlins game, and we're going to talk about the MLB draft that night. We're going to do that. And interview this week is going to be on Driving to the Top as well. Professor Brooks is going to talk about media, sports media in the Negro Leagues baseball. So we're going to talk about that there.
Isn't it interesting with baseball and hockey? Are they the only two that draft right out of high school?
NBA doesn't do it anymore. They did.
The days of Sean Kemp and all that. Nowadays, you have to do at least 1 year in college. I think is the rule.
I think it's 1 year. I think you have to do at least 1 year in college.
You can go straight out. but they've got a waiver in there that if you go straight out, you completely wait. You can't go back to college.
I thought the NBA had a rule though. You had to do at least 1 year. I thought they made so you couldn't come out. from
You
high
have to go
school.
to the G League, I think. I think you can.
Yeah.
I don't think you can play in the NBA actually.
Yeah, you can't go straight from high school to the NBA. You have to either go to college or G League.
Some might go international or whatever. But
Yeah. And it's funny because like with hockey and baseball, they go, you know, I mean, hockey's the funniest. Not to veer off, but that's what I always thought funny about hockey. Because hockey, they'll draft the kids. The first round picks 18. The whole first round, they're 18, right? And then they either like maybe the top 3 or 4 might get to the NHL, and the rest go to college or junior hockey. So it's funny, like you get a bunch of guys who get drafted, and then they're like, oh yeah, he's playing for Boston College next year. That was the number 5 pick. Hey, the number 6 pick. Oh yeah, he's playing for Boston College too. I always thought that was kind of funny about the way hockey and baseball draft out of high school, and no one else does.
Mm.
The NBA rule is players must be 19 years old during the calendar year of the draft, 1 year removed from high school graduation or the expected graduation of their class.
Oh, for those who drop out, yeah.
So if they drop out at say 17,
right,
have to be 1 year removed. So in essence, 3 years from that.
So go to the G League dropouts.
I think that's the next thing too, where guys are going to start getting. If they're paying college, they're going to start paying high school next. That's a whole nother thing.
They already do have a high school NIL. A kid that my son runs track with, sponsored by Nike. He was sponsored as a freshman, had an NIL deal as a high school freshman.
Crazy.
You're kidding me.
Nope.
That's crazy.
He's number 1 as a freshman. He was number 1 in the country at his event, and he got signed by Nike. And as a high school freshman, signed by Nike, and now he's going to. He just transferred from high school here, so he'll be a junior next year. He's going to some high school, I think, in Tennessee. It's kind of like the the high school they have here in Tampa for football that everyone talks about, EIT or whatever the heck that name of that school is. Well, there's one in Tennessee. It's just for track, for all these like the best track athletes in the country, and he's going there next year, and he's sponsored by Nike. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, as a high school student, NIL, unreal.
All right. So just to let everyone know, the Pirates won 6 in a row, and now we're on the verge of losing 6 in a row tomorrow. We lost tonight again. So we're 0-5 in our last 5, 6-0 in the time before. So the winning streak didn't mean shit.
Come on, I'm predicting we go about 500.
Anyway, you can give me that Sports Talking It on Twitter. Driving to the Top on Twitter. Obviously, the YouTube channel, guys, best place to get us when we're live so we can see the comments. So hit that like, subscribe button, Driving to the Top Productions. And, Rich, close it out. Let's get out of here.
All right. Yeah, you can get me on Twitter at BigRich8371 or on Facebook, just my name, Rich Richardson. You can get me with Captain Negativity over here tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, as we do Steel City Sports Talk. We'll talk Pirates, we'll talk Steelers, we'll probably talk All-Star Game and different
Look,
things.
I was excited.
You never know where we're going.
I was excited, all right? I was excited to go in 6-0. But I also said we're going on the road and we might not win a damn game.
And I told you that was going to be a tough road stretch. We talked about it on the show last week. But, you go to Seattle, Kansas City, and Minnesota. That's a tough stretch. I told you I would be content at 3-6. We may not get that far. But, definitely check us out at all the shows. All the shows these guys do, all the shows that we have on the network. Check us out, like, and subscribe to all of us. You can either catch us on our individual pages or on Driving to the Top. Routed over the Driving to the Top, though. And guys, appreciate everything. We'll come up with something creative for next Tuesday night's open mic. And we appreciate everybody submitting their questions and comments and being a part of the broadcast tonight. Until next Tuesday night, excuse me. It's been open mic night for Driving to the Top Productions. So long, everybody.
Bear down.